On this week's episode of Restaurants Near Me, we're back in Lodo for the season finale. I'm gonna take you to 5 restaurants in 5 hours. Let's eat. Drinking it as you wish cocktail here at Daughter Thai. Daughter Thai is one of my all-time favorite restaurants. Not just Thai food, all-time favorite restaurants. They combine amazing service, gorgeous dining room, upscale cocktails, upscale Thai food, and it's owned by 3 dynamic Thai women. What they brought me here today is a Khao Soi. The Khao Soi I've had here before with chicken and with short ribs. Today they're doing it with a duck leg. Can't wait to try that. You can see how crispy the skin is. And then this is a new dish also. This is the new red curry mussels. The broth here is everything, and the yellow curry and the Khao Soi. Cut a little bit, just disintegrating, just falling apart. This duck right here. I mean, you can put pretty much anything in this curry and you're gonna love it. Oh. It works with duck, for sure. On to the mussels here. The thing about coming to Daughter Thai, this isn't a place that you come to melt your face. This is where you come for flavor. There are places around town where you can get that Thai heat that destroys you, that you can't taste the food. I mean, they'll make it spicy for you here, but that's not what you come here for. You come here because you want to taste the food. You want to taste this curry. This is why it's one of my favorite restaurants in all of Colorado. As they would say in Thailand, Aloy Mak Mak. Drinking a hurricane here at Nola Jane's on Market Street. You can't come to a Cajun style restaurant and not get a hurricane. They make a great one. I've actually had a hurricane on Bourbon Street at Pat O'Brien's, who founded the hurricane during World War II. It's basically a drink that'll get you drunk, but it really goes great with Cajun food, with Jambalaya, Etouffee, Gumbo, and they make it all here phenomenally well. The kitchen stays open as long as the bar stays open. So if the bar's open till 2, the kitchen stays open till 2. And they have a fantastic rooftop too. Amazing in the summer with nice views, and you can see all the action going on Market Street. So today they brought us blackened catfish, smothered etouffee style, little dirty rice, collard greens, and then shrimp and grits with some shrimp on top. If you haven't had shrimp and grits before, give it a try. They're freaking delish. That's some of the best I've ever had. 1 second, I'll be right with you. Big fan of blackened catfish, smothered in etouffee, cannot go wrong. Spicy, creamy, the fish is cooked to perfection, nice and moist. These collard greens right here are to die for. Chef Lon is one of Colorado's most talented chefs. Next door he has LaRue, amazing French Mediterranean food, and his first restaurant, Cholon, is on the corner over there. What we're doing over here, this is Yumcha Dumplings, his newest restaurant, a dumpling emporium. You got all different gorgeous types of dumplings here. Today they brought us the signature General Tso's soup dumplings. Be very careful, these will burn the shit out of your mouth. Wait a few minutes, let them cool. Next, we have the pork belly miso ramen. I have not had the ramen here yet. I've had tons of their dumplings. They are absurdly delicious. And then I've had this cocktail here before. I requested it again, the Mandarin Dragon. So I'm a huge fan of the French onion soup dumplings at his first restaurant at Cholon. They're like world famous, really. And then he came up with these General Tso's soup dumplings. And I'm telling you people, they rival the French onion ones. Come in, give these a try. These dumplings will blow your mind. The combination of the soup with the chicken in that perfectly cooked dumpling. Did I mention absurdly delicious? We don't get a lot of ramen on the show. I haven't had the ramen here yet. I'm a huge ramen fan. Let's get into this right here. Look at that egg. That is cooked to perfection. Let's pop that baby. Stir that up a little bit. Now you got the egg in there with the broth, with the pork belly. I'd eat the hell out of that. They took me down to Flavor Town. Yumcha Dumpling and Noodle Bar is a fantastic addition to the Denver food scene. Venice Ristorante and Wine Bar is brought to you by Alessandro Carollo. This guy is authentic Italian, the real deal. Like, he hangs out with Andrea Bocelli. This guy is connected. We've got a filet mignon carpaccio to start us off with a little polenta cake, arugula. You got some fried capers and breadsticks here. If you've never had carpaccio before, it's raw beef. And so when I used to do it in my restaurant, I would just freeze it because it's the only way you could slice it paper thin Wrap it around the breadstick here. Don't be afraid of the carpaccio. Absolutely worth the trip here. Buried underneath all that arugula is a polenta cake. Polenta is just cornmeal, right? And then you fry it up in a cake like that. Ooh. Just flavors exploding in my mouth. Between the truffle oil, the polenta cake, the filet, and the capers. Wow, this thing really works. Turn smell-o-vision on. That fresh rosemary on this veal chop smells incredible. So a quick veal chop story. I love them so much. This is what I served at my wedding. They're serving it here today with a mushroom sauce, some mixed veggies, some roasted potatoes. Huge, huge fan of veal chops. So good. It's similar mouthfeel to actually a steak. You know, it makes sense. Veal is cow. Got a nice char on the outside. The sauce complements it perfectly. And then the rosemary steps it up a notch. This is actually special, not on the menu. So check before you come to make sure they have the veal chops. One other thing about Venice, they have another location on Holly and Orchard. That location used to be my restaurant, Uncle Sam's, 20 years ago. They do a much better job than I did. If you're looking for real, authentic Italian food, Venice Ristorante is the place. So excited to be at Garden Grace. This is owned by my friend Chef Troy Gard. He owns a plethora of restaurants in the Denver metro area. And Garden Grace, he even opened another one in Houston. They started me off with the Cosmonaut here. This cocktail actually has an edible orchid in the ice cube. Brilliant presentation, and it's freaking delish. This is the oak grilled octopus. This is one of his signature dishes here. Everybody talks about when you go to Garden Grace, you gotta try the octopus. When octopus is done right, very tender, and that's very tender. Nice char on the outside. Octopus is very mild flavor. They got a little chorizo and white bean puree with a little romesco here. Complements the octopus perfectly. Now for the main attraction. Why do you come to a prime steakhouse? For this kind of quality of meat. This is the filet trio. So we have a prime, we have a Wagyu, and then we have a grass-fed here. And they do taste completely different. I've had this dish before. This is the signature roasted heirloom carrot. Comes on top of all his steaks. So the three different fillets, they do have completely different feel. Starting with the grass-fed one here. It does taste different than a prime. It's got some earthy mineral taste to it. The Wagyu right here, gonna be, you know, richer, more buttery. That's the one that melts in your mouth. And then the prime. Most prime steakhouses, they actually don't do prime fillets because most people can't tell the difference between a prime or a choice fillet. But here, they step it up a notch to prime. And you can tell why. Between the three of them, I mean, they're all, of course, exceptional. Oddly enough, for me, the prime is my favorite. No better way to finish season 3 than at Garden Grace, one of the best steakhouses in Colorado, if not the whole country. We've eaten all over this state, had amazing food, met phenomenal people. We'll see you soon for another episode of Restaurants Near Me. Let's eat.